There we go. That's working now. That. That. Alrighty. Yes. Start all the way over. Yes.
Dear Esther, the gulls do not land here anymore. I've noticed that this year they seem to shun the place. Maybe it's the depletion of the fishing stock driving them away. Perhaps it's me. When he first landed here, Donnelly wrote that the herds were sickly and their shepherds the lowest of the miserable classes that populate these Hebridean islands. 300 years later, even they have departed.
Whew. Sorry. Eyes are watering on me. The game soundtrack, which is really nice. Alright, here we go. So let's try this again. Because the first time, everything crashed and I lost it. That's okay, because look at this. This game's awesome looking. Ooh. That's weird. Ooh. How do you not do that, stupid bird? What about in here? Click. Lots of paint. That's a lot of paint. Luminous premium paint. Ooh. Okay. I don't know what all the paint's for, but okay. Let's go down here. We're going up, but let's go down. This cool looking game. I need to find more just like this. This is my kind of game right here. Ah, you can almost feel the ocean breeze. Go out in the water? Ooh, I can. Lobster traps. Oh, that's cool. Is it people your level or lower level? People helping people is the best thing. Ooh.
When you were born, your mother told me, a hush fell over the delivery room. A great red birthmark covered the left side of your face. No one knew what to say, so you cried to fill the vacuum. I always admired you for that you cried to fill whatever vacuum you found. I began to manufacture vacuums just to enable you to deploy your talent. The birthmark faded by the time you were 6 and had gone completely by the time we met, but your fascination with the empty and its cure remained.
Huh. A little sneeze. Whew.
Dear Esther, I found myself to be as featureless as this ocean, as shallow and unoccupied as this bay, a listless wreck without identification. My rocks are these bones, and a careful fence to keep the precipice at bay. Shot through me caves, my forehead a mount. This aerial will transmit into me so. All overexposed, the nervous system, where Donnelly's boots and yours and mine still trample. I will carry a torch for you. I will leave it at the foot of my headstone. You will need it for the tunnels that carry me under.
Oh my. Level 30s, that's cool. It's nice to help out other people. It's one of the reasons I even play games like that. I mean, playing by yourself is cool and all, but when you're actually helping someone, that's always a lot more fun. But again, here's my preference for story-driven games. Single-player experiences. Kind of hypocritical, but that's okay. Ooh, stairs. Ooh. Yep, because they're changing the way gear works. Like I said, I don't know if you heard earlier about the combining talents and stuff like that into different skills to make one and stuff like that. So it's like, I was playing to get the medals, but then I was like, why? I'm just going to have to start all over again anyway. Get new gear again anyway. I played because it was fun. It was still fun. Dungeon Fin was just fun to
A
play.
wonderful sight. The moon cresting the junction between the cliff path and the stone circle. It cast a shadow of the ridge across the beach, all the world as if you had signed your name in untidy handwriting.
When someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice, they cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boat, and know to send aid or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this. To keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh.
Uh-oh. Ominous. So are we talking like syphilis?
We are not like Lot's wife, you and I. We feel no particular need to turn back. There's nothing to be seen if we did. No tired old man parting the cliffs with his arms. No gifts or Bibles laid out on the sand for the taking. No tides turning or the shrieking gulls overhead. The bones of the hermit are no longer laid out for the taking. I have stolen them away to the guts of this island, where the passages all run to black, and where we can light each other's faces by their strange luminescence. Dear Esther, I met Paul. I made my own little pilgrimage. My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life. I would leave you presents outside your retreat, in this interim space between cliff and beach. I would leave you loaves and fishes, but the fish stocks have been depleted and I've run out of bread. I would row you back to your homeland in a bottomless boat, but I fear we would both be driven mad by the chatter of the sea creatures.
Ooh. Okay. Some cool paintings. Oh, is this the paint? Is that what the guy used with buckets? Is that the fluorescent paint? Looks like it. Hopefully. Yep. And that's a tree. That's a Werther's original. It's a tree with letters on it. And an upside down octopus. Yep. Solved it. Oh, genius. Good thing I have this flashlight. That was convenient. Tusken Raiders. I hear they move with single file to hide their numbers. Ooh. Splish splash. Oh. Am I going this way?
I dreamt I stood in the center of the sun, and the solar radiation cooked my heart from the inside. My teeth will curl, and my fingernails fall off into my pockets like loose change. If I could stomach, I'd eat, but all I seem capable of is salt water. Were the livestock still here, I could turn feral and gorge. I'm as emaciated as a body on a slab, opened up for a premature source of death. I've rowed to this island in a heart without a bottom, all the bacteria of my gut rising up to sing to me.
That sounds cool, I guess. Singing stuff. It does, doesn't it? This is the highest settings I can get for it. It doesn't go any higher, but dude, look how beautiful this looks. Like, that's what I was like just looking at. It's like it just, wow. Like you can feel the ocean breeze. This is the kind of game I like to play. This right here. So I gotta find more games that are like this, more story-driven, more exploration-like. I started playing Dreamfall Chapters, but the narrative is just so long and just it's not that interesting. I wish it was, because it was interesting that I was playing. I liked playing it, but it just got too boring. Like the gaps between stuff happening was too much, and there was too much running back and forth. It's a shame too, because the story was really, really interesting.
Dear Esther, I have now driven the stretch of the M5 between Exeter and Bristol over 21 times. But although I have all the reports and all the witnesses, and have cross-referenced them within a millimetre using my Ordnance Survey maps, I simply cannot find the location.
Oh, I love
You'd
Skyrim.
think there would be marks to serve as some evidence. It's somewhere between the turn-off for Sanford and the welcome brake services. But although I can always see it in my rear-view mirror, I have as yet been unable to pull ashore.
My buddy's super psyched for the updated version with the better graphics on the one coming out, because he never got to finish Skyrim. His 360 fried on him, so he lost his game save and all that, and he just turned it in when he got the one. So when that comes out, he's really looking forward to it. I have Skyrim on the PC, and I have all the mods for it, and the graphic mods. It makes it look so great. And it plays so well for as many mods as you can put in there. It plays really well. I know it's not a popular thing, but I kind of liked Oblivion more story-wise than Skyrim. I think the guilds were better in Oblivion over Skyrim. I mean, Dark Brotherhood had a really good one in Skyrim, but I also liked it.
I had kidney
on,
stones, and you
Oblivion
visited
more.
me in the hospital. After the operation, when I was still half submerged in anesthetic, your outline and your speech both blurred. Now my stones have grown into an island and made their escape, and you have been rendered opaque by the car of a drunk.
Really? See, I hear that. I see the people that really like Skyrim generally didn't like Oblivion, and the people that liked Oblivion generally don't like Skyrim. I guess I guess I like the more. I liked having all those towns in Oblivion, and being able to walk from, Anvil all the way to the Imperial City, following the roads, and you can go to Kvatch and Cheydinhal and all that, and I thought that was super interesting.
There must be a hole in the bottom of the boat. How else could new hermits have arrived?
I used to follow NPCs around and watch what they did every day. Like, they'd wake up, they'd go have lunch, they'd go to work, and do all this other stuff. It's just really interesting. I like the way that works, especially in the Imperial City. I just think the world was better fleshed out. I mean, I understand Skyrim is supposed to be basically Samaria from, like, Conan the Barbarian. It's supposed to be very bleak and gray and all that, and it is, and the people are very not happy, I guess. But I don't know. I think I got tired of the gray and gloom and the snow in Skyrim. Although I did love fighting the dragons. That was like the best part. Especially when the dragons would attack the towns. Oh, that was amazing. Knocking them out of the sky. They were like, oh, there's a Dragonborn, save us. I'm like, but I really gotta go to this other quest. Save us, Dragonborn, we're being eaten by dragons. Fine. I just wish they had the Dragonborn DLC or Dragon Rider.
When I first looked into the shaft, I swear I felt the stones in my stomach shift in recognition.
What? Oh, whoa. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not going to jump down there. I don't think I could anyway. I totally don't believe Bethesda when they said they're not working on another Elder Scrolls game right now. They absolutely are. They started working on Fallout 4 as soon as Skyrim was done. They were already working on it.
I've begun my ascent on the green
working
slope
on
of
it.
the western side. I've looked deep into the mountain from the shaft and understood that I must go up and then find the way under. I will stash the last vestiges of my civilization in the stone walls and work deeper from there. I'm drawn by the aerial and the cliff edge. There is some form of rebirth waiting for me there.
Oh, all the DLCs for Skyrim were amazing. They were all great. The Dawnguard DLC, the Dragonborn DLC, they were all really good and well done. And they actually really added stuff to the game, which is important. I mean, some DLCs just, that's why I don't really get into Call of Duty or Battlefield or stuff like that, because every time there's a DLC, it's map packs. Here, have 3 new maps to play in multiplayer. Well, I don't play multiplayer, I play the regular game. Oh.
The bothy was constructed originally in the early 1700s. By then, shepherding had formalized into a career. The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jakobsen, from a lineage of migratory Scandinavians. He was not considered a man of breeding by the mainlanders. He came here every summer whilst building the bothy, hoping eventually that becoming a man of property would secure him a wife and a lineage. Donnelly records that it did not work. He caught some disease from his malcontented goats and died 2 years after completing it. There was no one to carve white lines into the cliff for him, either.
Oh, I'm definitely going to get the new battlefield.
When the oil lamps ran out, I didn't pick up a torch, but used the moonlight to read by. When I've pulled the last shreds of sense from it, I will throw Donnelly's book from the cliffs, and perhaps myself with it. Maybe it will wash back up through the caves and erupt from the spring when the rain comes, making its return to the hermit's cave. Perhaps it will be back on the table when I wake. I think I may have thrown it into the sea several times before.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for Battlefield 1. That just looks so cool. I'm really psyched for that. I'm usually not a Battlefield guy, or Call of Duty for that matter, but it looks amazing, and I'm super interested in that now. Ooh. Wow. Man, that's cool looking.
He left his body to the medical school and was duly opened out for a crowd of students 21 days after his passing. The report is included in my edition of his book. The syphilis had torn through his guts like a drunk driver, scrambling his organs like eggs on a plate. But enough definition remained for a cursory examination, and, as I suspected, they found clear evidence of kidney stones. He's likely to have spent the last years of his life in considerable pain. Perhaps this is the root of his laudanum habit. Although its use makes him an unreliable witness, I find myself increasingly drawn into his orbit. They found Jakobsen in early spring. The thaw had only just come. Even though he'd been dead nearly 7 months, his body had been frozen right down to the nerves and had not even begun to decompose.
It really does.
He'd struggled halfway down the cliff path, perhaps looking for some lost goat, or perhaps in a delirium, and expired, curled into a claw right under the winter moon. Even the animals shunned his corpse. The mainlanders thought to bring it home unlucky. Donnelly claims they dragged it to the caves to thaw out and rot, but he is proving an unreliable witness.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's my character talking, or if it's like someone's narrating over what I'm doing. I have no idea. But it's interesting. I think it only activates if I reach a certain area. So I just think I've been getting lucky and like walking the right way.
Climbing down to the caves, I slipped and fell and have injured my leg. I think the femur is broken.
What is that?
It is clearly infected. The skin has turned a bright, tight pink, and the pain is crashing in on waves, winter tides against my shoreline, drowning out the ache of my stones. I struggled back to the bothy to rest, but it has become clear that there is only one way this is likely to end. The medical supplies I looted from the trawler have suddenly found their purpose. They will keep me lucid for my final ascent.
What was that creepy noise? Okay. Oh, look, candle. That's amazing. It's still burning. Solid candle. Right? That's a hole. Gonna go up this way. No? What, I have to go in there? What's in there? Oh.